Have you ever been playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition and had the thought, wow, I wish there were a bunch of sci-fi demons based off of the classic video game Doom in this tabletop role-playing game? Oh, you haven't? That's fine though, because I have, and so now I've ported a bunch of the creatures from the original Doom game into Pathfinder 2nd Edition. If you want to skip the video and just get these stats, then there is a link in the doobly-doo to the PDF version of the monsters, but without further ado, here's the video. The first creature that you see when you boot up Doom for the very first time is the Former Soldier, an undead creature that goes down extremely quickly and also doesn't deal very much damage. The thing that makes them a real threat though is that they deal hit scan damage, immediately lowering your health if you're within their range without giving you a chance to dodge their attacks other than just by blocking their line of sight. This means that they are the first target for most fights, because otherwise they'll just be consistently chunking you down while you're busy with the other enemies. For the Pathfinder version of them, I'm aiming for a level 1 creature using the Sniper creature archetype, paired with the Zombie creature as my two bases to expand upon. I took the slow trait from the Zombie, meaning that this guy only gets 2 actions a turn, and also it has fairly low health in Doom, usually going down in only a single shotgun shell, so I gave it 15 hit points. As for its actual attack, this is where it gets a little bit weird. In an attempt to replicate its hit scan attacks from the video game, I gave it a whopping plus 11 to hit, and a tiny 1d4 plus 2 damage. The plus 11 means that it will still be annoying for a couple levels, because it'll still be able to hit the party, though if it's going against a level 1, then it'll probably crit a decent amount of its hits, dealing even more damage. Now, there's only one more ability that this creature has, but I've gotta quickly explain something about Doom first so that it makes sense. In Doom, there's this feature where enemies can accidentally damage each other, whether that be because it misses very badly or because the player managed to angle them to shoot each other. Depending on the monster types and a little RNG, this can sometimes even cause monsters to start to fight each other and ignore you for a little bit. In an attempt to replicate this in the Pathfinder stat block, I gave the Former Soldier the Friendly Fire ability. If the Former Soldier ever critically fails an attack roll, then it accidentally damages one of its allies within range. Next up, we have the Imp, a humanoid demon that shoots fireballs at you when you're far away, or if you get close it has a pretty nasty claw attack as well. In the original Doom, these things were fairly slow moving, though they have a 25 movement speed like the Former Soldier, though I gave them a high dexterity to help with their ranged attacks. I don't really have any unique ability added to this creature. It's got low health, a high damage claw attack if the players get close, and a ranged fire attack. That's basically it, so I'm just gonna move on to the next creature now. Remember how I said that the Former Soldier is what you want to target first in most fights? Well, I lied. They're actually the second target to kill, and these bastards here, called the Former Sergeants, are the real first target. Did you think that the Former Soldier had too little damage? Well, look no further, because these are basically just the same creature but with more health, and also a shotgun. The Former Sergeant will rip you a new one if you don't remove him from the fight quickly, and I tried to adapt this trait into the Pathfinder version as best I could. The main stats are just slightly beefed up versions of the Former Soldier, but the weapon has a couple differences. First, I upped the damage to 1d6 plus 3 and gave it the Deadly D6 trait. However, these are balanced by the fact that it has the Reload 1 trait, because it'd be pretty tough to spam fire a shotgun after all. Though the interesting part here is the Buckshot trait, where it deals an extra d6 damage while the target is within 20 feet, and an extra 2d6 damage while the target is within 10 feet. Toss a couple of these at the players and they'll get taken down faster than you can say, "Oh shit, I meant for these to be Former Soldiers, sorry for the TPK everyone." This next creature kind of has two different names. The official name in the original game is just Demon, though in Doom 3 and onward they're called Pinkies, and so for clarity's sake I'm gonna refer to it as a Pinky. These hulking brutes just charge you down and start biting you until it either kills you or you kill it. That's basically it. They are absolutely no threat at range, but if you let them get in close then you are in for a world of hurt. To attempt to replicate this in the Pathfinder version, I gave it the powerful Charge ability, so that it could quickly run up to you and start attacking, meaning you'll have to immediately try to either start kiting it, or just kill it, or you are going to have some problems. I also gave it the pack attack trait, so when 3 of these things get next to you, then they'll be dealing a ton of extra damage to you. And lastly, it has the rend ability. So for the low cost of 1 action, it can get a free hit in against you as long as it has already bitten you this round. Next up on the list, we have the Spectre, which in Doom is literally just the pinky but partially invisible, so I tried to keep that for the tabletop version. This monster's stat block is basically just the pinky again, with a few stats tweaked slightly to better fit the fact that this creature is level 3 instead of level 2, and then I also gave it an ability called Partial Invisibility. This ability means that the Spectre always has the hidden condition applied to it. However, if it ever takes a hostile action, such as attacking, then it changes to the observed condition for the next round. For anyone who doesn't know, the hidden condition means that creatures are flat-footed to the Spectre's attacks, and also any attack against it has a 50% chance to miss. Though, again, all of this goes away for 1 round if it ever attacks, so this will basically only help it during the first turn of combat, or if it tries to run away. Now we're finally getting into the fun creatures of this list, starting with the Baron of Hell. 2 of these act as the bosses of the first episode of the game, and they resemble large, blood-red satyrs. They hurl balls of green plasma at you that can pack a nasty punch, and if you get close, then you'll quickly learn that their claws are even more deadly. The only good news is that these towering beasts are a bit on the slow side, but you'll probably die too fast to really notice that. Other than the main 2 attacks that I've mentioned already, it also has the Power Attack and Battle Cry abilities. Power Attack lets it use 2 actions for its attack, but if it hits, then it deals an extra damage die. Battle Cry, on the other hand, is automatically activated when the Baron rolls for initiative, and the mighty roar of this creature gives itself and all demon allies within 60 feet a +1 status bonus to attack and damage rolls until the end of the first round of combat. Now we're finally done with all of the creatures that got introduced in the first episode of the game, and now we get to move on to episode 2, the Shores of Hell. The first new creature introduced in the Shores of Hell is the most iconic Doom monster of them all, the Cacodemon. These are large, flying heads with red scales, horns, and only 1 eye. They move relatively slowly, but have a strong jaw attack if you get too close, and they can spit out a lightning ball at people who stay at long range from them. Also, they look suspiciously like the original art for the Astral Dreadnought from Dungeons & Dragons, but that's unrelated. Other than all of that, the Cacodemon only has 1 new ability, called Pain State. All monsters in Doom have a pain chance, where upon taking damage it has a small chance of getting stunned for a brief moment. But the Cacodemon has an extremely high pain chance, which lets you essentially stun lock it if you use the plasma rifle or chain gun against it. I've tried to kind of capture that idea with the Pain State ability, where upon getting hit, it gains the slowed 1 trait for 1 round, which makes it so that on its next turn it only has 2 actions. If the attack was a crit though, then it is slowed 2, which gives the Cacodemon only a measly 1 action on its turn. Once the players figure this out, they'll have to decide whether they want to try to hit the Cacodemon every round to keep it slowed, or whether they want to try to take out the more problematic enemies in the combat. These creatures can chunk your hit points down fast if you don't keep an eye on them, but if you are able to keep damaging them every round, then they can be consistently slowed and become basically useless. Now onto the final and highest level monster that I made for this video, the final boss of the Shores of Hell, the Cyberdemon. This monstrous goat-headed cyborg is taller than every other creature in the game and has a giant mechanical arm that can fire out rockets at a surprisingly fast rate. This skyscraper of machinery and flesh technically doesn't have any melee attacks in the game. However, I'm going to take a slight creative liberty here and give it the stomp attack that it has in the Brutal Doom mod, because frankly, if it didn't have any melee attacks, then that'd make him pretty underwhelming as a boss. The Cyberdemon also has the Battle Cry ability just like the Baron of Hell did, except it's a +2 status bonus instead of a +1. Other than that, the only ability it has is the Rocket Barrage, which lets it use 2 actions to make 3 rocket attacks, though it has to apply its multi-attack penalty to each strike like it normally would. Well, there you have it. The demons from the first Doom game are now usable as monsters in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Though hang on a second, there's a few creatures missing here. Well, I've got good news for you. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of this, where I poured over the monsters from Doom 2, as well as the ones that I missed this video, so don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss that when it releases. In the meantime, however, enjoy viciously murdering your fantasy heroes with cybernetic demons from the future.